How's everyone doing today? Happy November 6th, 2025. Still getting up. You know, we're sitting here just figuring out a way or not figuring out a way, working through the mind chatter to get things done that we want to do to make our lives better. Does that make sense? Trying to do things a different way other than, the old way of thinking it to death and trying to do it this way, and then we fall short because we're so used to blah, 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 because we have all these things made up in our, well, I don't know about you, but me, have all this shit made up in my head. These old paradoxes, these old paradigms of self-sabotage, and we're working around that shit, right? Cheers, mate. It's coffee. I was thinking, all right, well, you got to make a plan. Write it out. You got to do this do this every day or whatever, right? And then in the back of my mind, my ego, right, telling me, oh God, every time you do that, it doesn't work out. You got to trick your mind because you can't sit and do this and do that. Wait a minute, what? What? Oh, that's because I tell myself that shit. And they just said, because it worked in the past. Get it together, ego. See, it ain't nobody else. And somebody watching will be like, oh my God, my spell is working. Bitch, bro, no. Sorry. But if you want to take the credit for that, go right ahead. But we already know it's my own fucking mind, bro, that I got to get past. Ain't nobody doing shit to me but myself. And it doesn't have to be that way. We shouldn't have to think things to death. We should just be like, hey, like, I couldn't wait to get up to coconut oil pool while I'm making my coffee, doing my dishes. Then I'm like, you know what? I just need to just take a moment, even though my coffee was made and getting cold, but take a moment and lay my hands on myself and breathe. Changing the mindset is going to be the hardest thing. It's not executing the fucking things. It's changing the fucking mindset. I don't know about you, but for me, this is a big thing, or we wouldn't be here talking about it. This eye's been leaking really bad because it waters a lot because I have dry eye. Like, that makes sense. But it's this little thing in here clogged up. Well, I know to massage in here. I know this. So it's thinking of, different ways until we can get ourselves there. I was like, Sirena, there's nothing on my finger while I'm looking at it. I don't know, habit, I guess. My ear just itched. It wasn't like I was trying to dig something out. Funny. Anyway, maybe there's something in your guys', there's something in someone's ear. You need to get it out. Or they said something with your right ear. Not pain, but something with your right ear. Are you getting, I heard messages. Are you getting different tones, different frequencies? Does it need to pop? Or did it pop recently? Snap, crackle, pop. Maybe the hard thing is we can't always set up a strict regimen in the morning. You might have to get it. And I just got a notification. Did you forget? Click here. Maybe we always can't do that. But we do what we can when we can. Maybe we do it later on in the day. I mean, coconut oil pulling is one thing. But fuck it. Do it whenever you want, whenever you can. How about that? If we, I don't know. This is what's coming. I don't know. Who says we have to do anything a certain... Do what you can when you think of it, Maybe with me, maybe they're having me look at this because I used to set up certain routines that I didn't always keep because of whatever reason. Maybe I wasn't able to. Maybe somebody came over and they stayed the night, like my daughter comes in. I'm not blaming her. You know what I mean? You can't always do a routine. And then you don't do it one day and then you fall out of it. But what about we try to mix it up and do it when we can? Stick to if you want a morning routine because that's good for you before you go to work or whatever, you do that. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't know, find your own way. I'm just noticing things in myself. I will do really good, really good, really good, really good till I don't one day, right? And that one day is so easy that will take all those other days, but that one day of missing my morning, that it just, then it's over. I don't know. Looking at it different. I don't know, whatever. But what's coming through to me today when I got up is, I was like, man, I don't have to lay hands on myself today. I could do that any time of the day. And I'm like, well, I just laid down and just put on my stopwatch. I'm not going to set a timer to do it this long. I'm going to put on my stopwatch and it'll tell me how long. See, I would have set it for 10 or 20 minutes, but I did it for 25, almost 26 minutes. See? Now I'm like, all right, I don't feel like juicing right this second, so I might just lay here and drink some coffee for a minute, Let shit come in. It's like I could take time throughout the day, all day long, when I have to lay down because of my back, put my hands on me. Bam. There's Reiki treatment. All day long, need to. In between all day, if I need to. I can coconut oil all day long if I want. Maybe morning and night. Maybe 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night. I don't know. Juicing would probably be best during the day, but as long as I get it in there, before I eat. I haven't eaten yet. Do that, But get out of your head or whatever it is that gets you stuck, to not stagnant, to not do it. I don't know. I'm just having a review of my life and like, wow, I used to do this without fucking, it became second nature to me. Well, I can get back to that. My son was like, Mom, don't live in the past. I said, I'm not. I'm just telling you. I've done this before. I can do it again. That's all I'm saying. She can be taught. Like this fucking thing. I told myself to grab this. I told myself my body didn't want it. the cells in my body and in my body to help it grow and live isn't saying, please do that. We've got to have it to survive. No, that's mind, baby. My habit before was making coffee, running outside to have coffee and a cigarette. That was my norm for fucking 40 something years, bro. I don't have any cigarettes. Do I want to go to the store and get some? Fuck no. Not right now. Is it something I have to have, or is it something I talk myself into? We've talked about this many times. But yet, I'll end up doing it again. Well, you know why? Because I fucking talked myself into it. You know, I was telling myself earlier, started yesterday, it's like, you know what? Thank you, little noise. Do one thing. If it's not a whole lot, at least do one thing in your apartment to get it to where you want it to be. At least do one thing. Because when you do too much, then there's days you can't do anything. Equal balance. But your main focus has to be on what? Getting your human back together. Why? Well, God told me so. And since I'm in this body, I want to live and be able to move around and do things. And wait, I was shown all these things. I was given all these ideas. Well, I want to do those ideas now, and I feel less than a person and like I'm not doing anything right because I haven't done it yet. But Sirena, physically, you can't. So you're running around, round and round, round and round. And the manipulation is in my own head of judging every little fucking thing I do. Or don't do, we'll say. Yeah, it would be nice to sit there and go, oh my God, somebody's controlling my mind. There's nothing I can do. I just have to be this way for the rest of my life. I don't think so. That doesn't sit right with me. I know it does for most people, but with me, I don't have that kind of personality. But when you realize, and they're showing me that post I shared, and I think it was from Rosa Venus, as a matter of fact, possibly. I don't know, I shared it. So it's probably in the post tab or on my Facebook. But it was, it sucks that you can't just easily post to Instagram, because I'd rather do that, but I have to put in too much work to do that, and I don't want to do that. So that's a side note. Too much fucking work to do that. I don't. Bleh. But anyway, it made me forget what I was talking about. So I don't know, yo. I was gonna hit this. I'll just smoke this fluorite. I don't need that either. I'm hearing quiet the mind. We think too much. Got to think about doing this. Got to think about doing that. Got to think about not doing this. Got to think about not doing that. What about just getting up and going, God, what would you have me do today? What's the best thing I can do for me that will help others in the whole big scheme of things? What shall that be? And we already know how energy and stuff works, that when we do for ourselves, it helps the whole collective and beyond. Infinity and beyond, right? But, you know, they're like, take matters into your own hands. Take your life into your own hands. You know, if you just read the Bible and know anything about the Bible and you know the promises and stuff that God has in there and the words that Jesus spoke, that's enough. You shouldn't question, are you loved? You shouldn't question if you're a sinner. You shouldn't question any of that. You should just follow the word. It's simple. And if every day you have to sit and go, oh my God, I'm not worthy. I'm just a fucking piece of shit sinner and I'll never be like Jesus. That's not what Jesus said. That's not what Jesus said. Oh, I'll never be. What was me? Oh, I'll never. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm such a piece of shit. Oh, God, help me. I just want your love. I just want to be like this. Well, you're just spitting in Jesus' face, so to speak. That's just my opinion. That's just how it comes through to me. And that's what I had, and that's what, I'm having to come to a realization myself is if they say that God knows everything that you're going to do your whole entire life, that should be enough for you to go, fuck, I've been wasting my time on all this shit. I just got to do what's right and follow God and not fucking society. The God within you. What did Jesus say? Fuck everything else. Fuck all these other people that are running around asleep, that are under mind control, that have the same egoic problem that we do. Doubt, fear, bullshit. And worry about what these cocksuckers say? Because they're perfect. Because God speaks through them. I shouldn't have scratched that last God speaks through them. I don't know where that came from, but it had to be said, I guess. They're like, yeah, Serena, run your mouth saying that you speak for that too. I'm like, oh God, here we go. Here we go. Here's your sign. I'm just a fucking mouthpiece. I'm just a person that goes through a lot of shit like everyone else, I'm here to speak about it. However effed up way it is. 1808, bitches. You know that song? I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody all about somebody who saved my soul. So you've been broken, you've been beaten down, and you've risen up. Those are the people God's looking for, right? The ones who went through the fire, the ones who were forged by fire, the ones who have been cracked open so wide that there's nothing that can come out except the light that's within and the love that's within. It didn't jade you. You're special. You think you're special. You do. And you are. And we tell our story and our deepest thoughts and our deepest things we'd like to keep to ourselves, our embarrassments. Please trust. And yet here we are. Fucked up girl, fucked up whatever, fucked up life, been all of the things and stuff. being a good person, being a bad, being it all. But is it really good or bad, or is it just what you're growing through? It's not an excuse. It's a fucking testimony, bro. 2020. And some of you have a testimony. Most of you do. You have a story to tell, and it's yours. You gotta put your oxygen mask on yourself first. This is what I'm learning. I've talked about this for so long, you think I'd know that by now. Easier said than done. Thank you for that. Or is it? Or do we just have to make different choices? Do we just have to live from, oh gosh, here we go, not from our own accord, that noise, but from our soul perspective? I feel good again today. Yesterday was the eye of the storm, the moment of clarity, the fucking cloud 9. Today's great, but I'm getting chills. I don't want to say a resistance, like a push away, but there's thickness. It's not as easy to move through. Density a little bit. There's a lot of energy going around. You know, one thing I don't do anymore, I'm not outside and I don't walk anymore since I moved here. That's huge. Got to get outside and walk. Got to get barefoot on that fucking earth. Grounding and earthing are two different things. I was going to hit this again. You know, maybe we need a little buddy, you know. And there's really no excuse now with this whole internet bullshit. If we can't be physically with somebody, which would, of course, would be better when you're doing exercises and working out together. But, you know, maybe some of us just need a little buddy. Somebody that's dedicated to health improvement, mind, body, and soul. An accountability buddy in a way, but, you know, somebody to get excited and do things with. That'd be great. And when you need to rest, fucking rest if you can. Without judgment. You don't have to stay busy all the time to feel worthy, and that's the fucking problem. That's a thing I used to have, and I used to have so bad. If you're not constantly doing something, then you have to be doing something. You can't rest. You can't rest. I lived like that for so long till I was put flat on my back, and then there's like... Then that became its own monster in itself. Woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. Fuck that woe is me. We heal ourselves. So do it. Gotta get past the fucking mind. I love you guys. Peace. I have no idea what to name this, but we'll probably see you in a bit. I love you. Thank you for being here. And Namaste. I saw 2424. I wonder how many people are open to receiving energy. You know, we'll call it Reiki. We'll call it Universal Life. I didn't even want to mention it. Damn it. I think there's only been one person one time that ever said, oh, I felt that energy, you know. Anyway, peace.